Hello. This audio is called Get Control of Your Life or Be Controlled. I am exercising my newfound freedom to be able to speak my truth and not really care who judges me or believes me or whatever. And today I'm going to speak to mind control. I'm going to speak to fear as being the ultimate mind control. And I'm going to speak into how you absolutely 100% need to start approaching your life a different way if you are going to create anything new in these times. Okay, so first and foremost, yes, we are in unprecedented times. Yes, there are things ramping up in the collective. Yes, we are in a collapse. We are in end times. We are in the rapture, whatever you want to call it. All true as according to the Bible. But here's what I also want you to know. We are in a resurrection phase as a humanity. The resurrection phase means it's time for you to take control of your life. What has happened in the past is simply in the past. However, if you do not have a clean slate every second of every day, and if you are not controlling your thoughts into and moving them forward as an evolutionary human being, you are meant to evolve. If you're not evolving, you're staying stuck and you're going to be controlled. Some way, shape, or form, you're going to be controlled. This is kind of like this community that I have is all about taking your life to the next level. It's taken on many different incarnations, and through this eclipse period, what has happened to me in particular is that I am going truth. I am making it so easy on myself. I am taking off the what do you call it? Taking off and shedding anything that is holding me back from being 100% truthful with you guys, because I have been hurting myself emotionally and energetically by trying to dance around the topics that I want to lead you through. Here's the thing, the thing is like, you are either going to take control of your life and move it in the direction that you want and start to create a better life for yourself, or you're going to be controlled by whatever is controlling you now. It really is that basic. Okay. So if the outer reality is controlling your inner reality, you're screwed. You're screwed. If the inner reality is activating on anxiety and panic and this and that, and you are wanting to create something different, then you've got to get control of what's going on the inside of you, okay? If you cannot control your emotions, and if the outer reality or if people in your life are controlling your inner reality, then you're being controlled. And it's time to free yourself. It's time to free yourself, okay? The thing about it is that nobody can free you. You must do it yourself. Not without help, however, because I did not do any of what I have done in my life without help. And I had hand-holding. And I needed training wheels. And I needed a lot of support to start taking control of my life, because I was being controlled by fear. And I was being controlled by voices in my head telling me that I wasn't good enough, voices in my head telling me that I had to do it a certain way. And the biggest fear was what would happen if I did, what would happen in the future if I did X, Y, and Z, right? What I found out when I did X, Y, and Z, what happened in the future was I broke free. I started to manifest the life that I wanted. All I had to do to start making decisions to move myself forward was, number one, know what forward meant and know how to get there. And also I had to weigh my options very quickly. Okay, If I keep staying here, I'm not in control of my inner environment. My mind is going crazy. I can't stop thinking about things that have happened in the past. I'm afraid of what's going to happen in the future. I'm afraid. Okay. What I realized when I was afraid was that I was creating a reality from fear, which is death. It was a death cycle. My energy was completely consumed. It wasn't going anywhere. You have to understand that what we're moving out of and what God wants us to move out of is a reality that's been controlled by war, that has been imprisonment, and we are the prisoners. This is the matrix, right? And so what I learned in cracking the code on fear and becoming an evolutionary leader and really raising the consciousness of my entire life and manifesting my dream man and bringing my family that was completely destroyed back together again in love, creating wealth and creating opportunities, is that if I continued to live a certain way in fear, then it terrified me more to live that way than it did to actually start moving my life in the direction of my dreams. That liberated me. So if we want to talk about polarities that are going on right now, there's the fear that we're never going to move forward as a humanity and that it's doomsday, which it is going to be for some people. I will tell you that. The purpose of what's going on right now is a purification of Earth. Some people are going to evolve, and like I say, some people are going to grow up out of where they're imprisoned in their mind and imprisoned in their heart and start choosing and being the evolved version of themselves. And other people are going to evolve because they're going to die. And what happens we'll call it like a death cycle, is you actually start to eat away at the life that God wants to give you because you're so worried and consumed about what's going on in the world, which is intended to kill you. Okay? I'm going to put it bluntly because I'm not hiding anymore. This is where we are. Be controlled or get control of your life. Those people who are getting control of their lives are manifesting, are creating, are feeling better. I'll just say this, are feeling better. But I also have to say this. People are also bouncing around thinking that it's going to be easier somewhere else. And that is not going to work. That's not going to work. Bouncing around because you think it's going to go be easier somewhere else is fear. Because whatever is kicking you out of, the community that you're in, or telling you to stop your human evolution, it's the very thing that you need to go through. I'm going to be very honest with you. The earth is on fire, right? The earth is on fire. The earth is quaking. You've also got to look at that is something that quite possibly might be going on in your life. You might have fires in your life that you're avoiding because you don't want to get burned. You don't want to get hurt. This is another thing, what would happen? I don't want to get hurt if I do that. You have to look at the very real possibility in your life right now that if you don't allow yourself to go through the fire so that the fire can burn off what is not meant to be with you through an alchemy process versus I'm going to stay in the path of all the chaos, all the fires, all the quakes. This is where we are. Look at what's going on in the world. My 9-year-old said, "Mom, there's another disease out there. There might be another shutdown." I was like, oh, interesting. Yep. We don't know where it's going to come from next. We don't know what's coming next. But here's what we need to know. If it is creating anxiety, panic, or fear inside of you, you've got to evolve out of it. It's time to make a new choice. It's time to learn a new way to live as a human being. Or stay part of that system. That's enslavement. That's where they're going to not only control your emotions by fear, but they're going to control your wallet. They're going to control your freedom or what is left of it. This is the wake-up call. I'm here with God's plan. I am a messenger. My message for the past 3 weeks was tell them. Tell them that God is here. God is with us. And God is going to keep you wherever you are until you get in alignment with your higher plan. And that is the number one way to take control of your life, is to get in alignment with the plan that God has for you so that God can deliver the promise that he put or she put in your heart when you were born. And that's what I've been receiving for the past 7 years, God's promise. 8 years, God's promise for freedom. A free mind, a free heart. When there are challenges and chaos that come up in my life, it does create an inner chaos. I'll tell you that right now. An inner chaos. That is exactly when I know that I am being asked to activate my new reality. I activate my new reality, new possibilities open up, and boom, I expand. When you expand, you let in more light, you let in more love, you let in more wealth, you let it in what God has for you. You let it in. That is living. That is the only way to live as a human being. Everything else is controlled. The Truman Show, The Matrix. A lot of you are still in the gray area. You're not stepping into the life that is built already for you by your soul, and that is why you're struggling. I'm not going to say it's all sunshine and roses as you move out of the, where you've been walled off from everything. This is where your heart has walls. This is where your light is dim because you're afraid of being you. And I get it. I was afraid for a long time. I was afraid to start being this person with my community. And I've been very honest with that. But this is how you do it. You do it. You make a decision and you do it. And you don't stop. And when you make a decision and you commit to that decision and you don't stop, you win at life. All different avenues of life. And yes, you do have to do hard, uncomfortable things. But again, the challenge is the breakthrough point. And that's where the blessings come. Through the challenge, it's about who you become, because you become one of the willing people who are taking control of their life. Bottom line is, it's time to take control of your life. Get control of your mind, get control of your journey on this earth. Start doing things according to what you know on the inside you should be doing. And if you don't know what those are, then meet with me. Meet with me. I'm going to be real with you. I am real with you. I also have containers, and I will just share this, that are very nourishing, because I know how it feels to be in a trauma pattern, to be afraid, to have hard things happen. And the only reason I am here today is because I was handheld, swaddled and coddled, and also with me during the hardest moments of my life was someone who also understood how fragile people can be when they are awestruck by realities, that waking up and saying, oh my God, this is my life. And And also, I've got to start doing things differently. But those things take a little bit of time. Those things take building courage and strength over time, learning how to trust yourself, learning how to listen to your wisdom, and then the actualization of new realities comes through a practice where you be a new version of yourself through through activation, where you do, which is actually executing things that you've wanted to execute in increments and stages, and you're building a new life, and Rome was not built in a day. And those things are going to be, you're not going to be perfect at it. It's going to be messy. It's going to be clunky until you refine it. And that really comes through an embodiment practice where you really start to practice the art of being in control of your life, creating your reality. Or the other version is that you are continued to be controlled. And you know what I'm talking about. Anxiety is being controlled, depression's being controlled, old thoughts, that's being controlled. There's energies that work with that. That's what I do with my clients, so you don't have to do it all by yourself. But empowerment starts to come when you realize that you actually were born to live in these times, and you were literally born with a vision and a destiny that was put in you by God. And this is me as a messenger of God saying it's time. Stop playing small with your life. Stop being afraid all the time. Fear is an illusion, but I also understand that, hey, it can feel real when you've lived in it for so long. And when you have had your voice dimmed and your light turned out, and when you've had to put walls up around your heart to protect those tender wounds that you have in there, and it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable and it's scary to come out of that fast. And so this is really the fastest process of evolution. The one that I'm sharing, because this is what God showed me of how to evolve the human race. First of all, it is the wake-up call. Hey, you're spinning in the wrong direction. Let's get you moving in the right direction. And again, I always say this isn't for everybody. Some of you are going to be holding light. Some of you you're not going to have the courage or the strength at the core of you to start paving new ground for yourself. That's okay. I have plenty of people in my life who I love dearly who are not doing the same things I'm doing, and maybe it's just not their time, or maybe they just don't have it in them. But I'm talking about the people who know it's their time and believe a little bit today that given the right tools and the right structure and the right leadership and the right environment, that they can start to move forward a little bit every day. To freedom. Living the way God intended you to live within your destiny, living your dream, your inner dream, is freedom. All right, you guys. Link is always below if you want to connect with me. Thank you so much for listening. Love to you. Bye.